Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tony'sPicks.com. It's time for NBA 3. Our top unit producer over at Tony'sPicks.com for the past 2 years. That's Joseph Schultz. You'll find those pre and plays over at Tony'sPicks.com. Let's bring Joseph in right now, ready to roll. Joseph, what's happening?
Uh, Actually had a great weekend with the family and a great day today on the sports betting side of things. 4-1. So
Outstanding. That's right. Broke the 3,000 unit barrier here for the year. Matter of fact, you can see there nearly 6,200 units of profit the last 2 years. Top unit producer at Tony'sPicks.com for the past 2 years. So let's get on board and with Joseph on a long-term pass. Let's get underway here with the NBA rundown. 3 NBA playoff games, game twos here. First round, we start here with Magic at Cavs. Cavs laying 5.5. Total sits at 202.5.
it's kind of more of the same for me. I told you guys this was my highest level of confidence for any of those game ones. To me, again, this is a Cavs game, and it's going to be a Cavs series. Cavs are not happy with how last year ended, how they were knocked out of the playoff. Um, it kind of tanked a little at that last week or two of the season, losing to like teams like the Raptors, Grizzlies. There's another bad one in there, maybe the Wizards. They did that to get this matchup. This is who they wanted. They they're determined not to have this year, end up like last year. The Magic, they are up and coming team, tons of talent. They're well coached, but I think next year is gonna be the year that they're a true contender, at least in the East. They're just like a year early. I keep saying this. They kind of remind me of last year's Thunder. They're against the spread darling, one of the best in the NBA, just like OKC was last year, and OKC made the big jump. That's kind of how I see the Magic, just not this year. They're definitely dangerous. They probably end up winning a game or two. I just don't think it'll be either one of these first two because they're in Cleveland and because the Cavs are a little burnt from last year. They're not going to allow that to happen. The Cavs, they didn't even play up to their full potential. They shot just 8 for 30 from three. Strauss and Garland shot 3 of 11 combined, and they only combined for 21 points. And they still won by 14 and covered fairly easily. The Cavs, they're not going to shoot 27% from three, too many more times, if any. So you're going to see some positive regression there. I think Strauss doesn't go 1 for 5 from three again. Garland probably plays better. This is a heavy lean towards the Cavs.
All right, Joseph Schultz. Click the link below for his best bets, Magic and Cavaliers. Cavaliers here at minus the 5.5. All right, let's continue on here on our NBA 3-pack here with Joseph Schultz as we get ready here for the next game here on the board. It will be 76ers and Knicks. The Knicks favorite 5. Total sits here at 207.5.
I love the Knicks. Huge fan, have been my whole life. But even when I look at this with an unbiased, when I give it an unbiased look, it's still, if I'm being honest, it's hard to bet against the Knicks. They got the job done, but the Sixers can absolutely hang with the Knicks. They're not your typical 7 seed, as I keep saying. They went up double digits multiple times before allowing the Knicks to go on a big run and get a big lead. But even then, they came back from a 12-point lead. They came back from like 16 or 18 to go up fairly late in that game. Philly looks dangerous. Obviously, they have an MVP level player, and he doesn't look 100%. But I thought after that playing game that he was a little more injured than what they were letting on. But it looks to me like it's more about him trying to work into game shape more than actually being injured. Kelly Oubre, just like the regular season, I was kind of hoping this wouldn't be the case, but he plays defense on Jalen Brunson as well as anybody I've seen. Sixers got a secondary scorer who's extremely capable of taking over a game. Tyrese Maxey. The Knicks got great performances from Bogdanovich off the bench. Miles McBride was great. I'm not sure how repeatable that is from a game-to-game basis, though. Bogdanovich wasn't even playing heavy minutes, for long stretches of the season, especially at the end there. I could absolutely see the Knicks winning the game, but it's going to be an extremely tight game if you ask me. And Philly's absolutely a live dog in this game. If I'm betting this game, I want those points in my back pocket. And just for a little note, if the Knicks do indeed go up 2-0 in this game, you obviously we have to pay attention to that opening line, but if the Knicks go up 2-0, it's probably a smash spot for the Sixers in game 3 headed back to Philadelphia. But for this game, I grabbed the points and I think it's going to be a close game.
All right, Joseph Schultz here. Get his pre and plays over at TonySpeaks.com. 76ers Knicks. The pick here will be 76ers at +5. All right, we'll continue on here on our NBA 3-pack here, guys. Remember the promo code Tony at checkout will save you 20% off all Joseph's pre and pick package. You'll find the link in the description. All right, let's get ready for the next game on the board. Lakers at Nuggets. Nuggets 7.5. We see the total 223.
Not getting burned by the Lakers again here. I had them plus a 7.5 in game 1, and it looked really good up until about halftime. Looked great a little bit before halftime. Looked like they might actually win that game outright, and that's kind of not to go off subject, but kind of how I felt about the Heat and the Celtics in game 1. Those types of lines versus good teams and playoff situations, for handicappers and professional gamblers, that's usually like it's just in our nature to grab those points. But I just can't do it. I don't have confidence in the Lakers. They looked dejected at the end of that game. They looked great for most of that first half, but the Nuggets were able to take that lead away by halftime. They, fairly easily ended up covering. D'Angelo Russell continued his it's almost like a mental block when he plays the Nuggets. Shot 6 for 20, 1 for 9 from 3-pointer. Vincent and Dinwiddie, neither one of them scored. The Lakers have now lost 9 in a row against the Nuggets. I think Denver comes out and plays better in the first half. I think that'll be a talking point for the coaches not to let, even with them ending up covering and winning fairly easily, I still think they want to practice, coming out and having a good first half and not letting teams jump on them like that because, most likely they'll be in the Western Conference Finals. They'll be playing teams like the Thunder. They may even, play in the finals and go up against a team like Boston. So they're going to want to, practice these types of things, even in a series where they're not in doubt of losing. And I think the coaches will have that as a high priority. So I don't even think the Lakers will, be able to have the first half like they had in game 1. I'm not going to overthink this. This, to me, is just easy. It's the Nuggets, and you lay the points.
All right, Joseph Schultz here with Lakers Nuggets in game 2. Nuggets laying the 7.5 points. All right, we got you through that 3-pack here from the NBA playoffs here on Monday. Now it's time to turn our attentions over to TonySears.com for Monday's action. Of course, Joseph has been on an absolute tear, over 3,000 units of profit for the year. The last 2 years combined nearly 6,200 units of profit. All document. He is the unit leader for last year as well as this year over at TonySpace.com. All right, NBA on the board. 4 from the NHL, also 11 game card from MLB. What do you have going on over at Tony Space?
Yeah, guys, we kind of treaded water the last maybe 3 weeks of that NBA regular season. MLB helped us out. I've always done well there, but I talked about last night about taking a chance, grabbing a more long-term package. because a lot of my plays get very good closing line value, and I could get you the best of the number a lot of times. And I did see an uptick in, a couple people grabbing something a little more long term, and it's already paid out. Like I said, we went 4-1 today. Um, got them on a couple of games where the line moved, and we had a better number than where it ended. And I just suggest that more people grab that. I saw a couple of people grab a weekly pass this morning, and they already doubled their money for what they paid for that. Assuming that they played $100 units. But you know, I just really encourage people to get something long term. If it's not in your budget, or if you need me to prove it. I understand that. I always put out my daily best bets, just $15. Tony, guarantees profit on those short term things. Um, I'll have a 3-pack out of the NBA. I already know the 3 picks. I'll have that out within probably 20 minutes of shooting this video. And there's a huge MLB slate tomorrow. I'm sure I'll have something for there. Haven't quite looked yet, but I always find value in the MLB.
Right, guys, I worked over at TonySpeaks.com, top unit producer document over at TonySpeaks.com over the past 2 years, 2023 number one, 2024 number one. When you do the math and add up the units here for the last 2 years, nearly 6,200 units of profit-based $100 unit wager. Fantastic work here, Joseph Schultz. Try to compare that with anybody over the past year and 5 months. It's going to be hard to find the numbers like this in these legit document sites that record keep and make, and obviously use third-party provider to grade the plays. So get on board with Joseph. We click the link in the description. You'll find his pre and pick packages. Long term will serve you well. As he mentioned, this 1 week pass. There's a lot of volume here in the first round. In the first round, we've got these 8
Right.
different series. So this is a great time to get on board with that 7-day pass, or maybe the 1 month pass. Get on board, and we'll save you some money when you use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You can save 20%. Access Joseph's page. Just click the link in the description. You'll land right there, and you'll get signed up. So again, high volume right now with these 8 playoff series from both leagues, and of course all the baseball volume in there as well. All right, Joseph, it's always great having you on the show. Continue that great success, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
See you later, Tony. Thank you.
You got it for Joseph. I'm Tony D. We'll talk tomorrow.